Good morning. The topic for today is acid-base balance. I'll be dealing with it in two parts. The part one, I'll be talking to you in general about acid-base, pH of blood, the role of buffers, and the role of the respiratory system. What is an acid? Acid is a substance which yields hydrogen ions in solution. What is a base? The base is one which combines with hydrogen ions or it combines with protons. Buffers are those which resist the change of pH. Now the pH of blood is very narrow and ranges between 7.35 and 7.45. It is essential that we keep the pH of blood within this narrow range of 7.35 and 7.45. The pH of intracellular fluid, on the other hand, is variable. Now, large amounts of hydrogen ions are continuously contributed to the fluids from metabolic reactions that occur in our body. And to maintain a constancy, it is therefore necessary to remove them from the blood fluids effectively and promptly. So here in this figure, we see the narrow range of our body pH, that is the pH of blood, that is between 7.35 and 7.45. And it is essential, as I told you before, to maintain the pH of blood within this narrowed range. If the pH falls below 7.3, it leads to acidosis, and if the pH increases beyond 7.5, it leads to alkalosis. This mechanism, whereby an equilibrium is maintained between production and removal of hydrogen ion, is called the acid-base balance. Now, what are the sources of hydrogen ions? The normal human diet is almost neutral, but from where is this hydrogen ions generated? It is generated from the metabolic processes that occur to the carbohydrates, the proteins, the lipids that we take in. For example, through aerobic glycolysis, we have the generation of carbonic acid. Through anaerobic glycolysis, we have the generation of lactic acid. By the incomplete oxidation of fatty acids, we get the production of ketone bodies, which, as you know, contains two main acids, that is the beta-hydroxybutyric acid and the acetoacetic acid. By this oxidation of sulfur-containing amino acids, we get the sulfuric acid, and by the hydrolysis of nucleic acids, we get phosphoric acid. Of all these, carbonic acid is the chief acid produced by oxidation of carbon compounds, and around 20,000 milliequivalents of carbonic acid is produced from carbon dioxide. What are the different types of acids which are produced in the body during metabolic processes? We have the fixed acids which are non-gaseous, like phosphoric acid and sulfuric acid. We have organic acids like pyruvic acid, lactic acid, keto acids and uric acid. And we have the volatile acids like carbonic acid. What are the types of bases which are produced during metabolic processes? From fruit juices, we get certain bicarbonate salts. By the deamination of amino acids, which is produced by the breakdown of proteins, we get ammonia. And certain amount of biphosphates are also obtained during metabolic reactions. Now, how is this pH regulated? There are three systems which regulate the hydrogen ion concentration in body fluids. The first is the buffers. They are the first line of defense. Second, we have the respiratory mechanism, which is the second line of defense. And thirdly, we have the renal mechanism, which is the third line of defense. Let's look at the blood buffers, which are the first line of defense. The buffers which are present in the extracellular fluid are bicarbonate, which is the principal buffer of the extracellular fluid. Then we have the phosphate buffer and the protein buffer. In the intracellular fluid, we have the phosphate buffer, which is the principal buffer of the intracellular compartment. And in the red blood cells, we have the hemoglobin buffer and to a lesser extent we have the bicarbonate buffer. Now let's look at the role of different buffer systems. Firstly, the bicarbonate buffer system, which is the most important buffer system in the plasma. It has two components, the bicarbonate component and the carbonic acid component. This accounts for almost 60% of the buffering capacity of plasma and 40% of the buffering action in the whole body. Now the base constituent, that is bicarbonate, is regulated by the kidney and is known as the metabolic component, while the acid part, that is the carbonic acid part, is under respiratory regulation and is known as the respiratory component. The normal ratio in blood is of the bicarbonate buffer, that is bicarbonate to carbonic acid is as 20:1. Now what is alkali reserve? Alkali reserve is represented by the bicarbonate concentration in blood, which is not combined with strong volatile acids. Normally all acids reacts with bicarbonate except carbonic acid to give carbonic acid. The plasma bicarbonate therefore represents the alkali reserve, and it has to be sufficiently high to meet the acid load. If it is too low, then all the bicarbonate would be exhausted within a very short time and the buffering will not be effective. So under physiological circumstances, the ratio of 20:1, that is a high alkali reserve, ensures a high buffering capacity of the buffer. Secondly, the phosphate buffer, which is the major intracellular buffer. It regulates the pH within the cells and is also present in the urine. The phosphate concentration is much higher intracellularly and within the kidney tubules. Its concentration in the extracellular fluid is too low to have much importance as an extracellular buffer system. When we look at the ratio of HPO4 minus to H2PO4, it is as 4:1. Now let's look at the protein buffer. Protein buffer is important because proteins are made up of amino acids. In the blood, plasma protein, especially albumin, acts as buffer. Now amino acids contain two groups, the amino group and the carboxyl group, which can act as proton donors or acceptors. If the pH rises, that is in alkaline medium, the amino acid will act as an acid and release hydrogen ions. If the pH falls, that is in acidic medium, the amino acid acts as a base and absorbs hydrogen ions. So proteins contain dissociable acidic COOH and basic NH2 groups, which make them very good buffer systems. Now let's look at the hemoglobin buffer system. This is the only intracellular buffer system, but very highly efficient in controlling the pH. So it helps prevent major changes in the pH, particularly when the plasma partial pressure of carbon dioxide is rising or falling. Let's look at this diagram and we can see the role of the hemoglobin buffer. In the cells, that is during cellular metabolism, carbon dioxide is produced. This carbon dioxide will then move into the erythrocytes, where it combines with water, and in the presence of the enzyme carbonic acid anhydrase, it produces carbonic acid. This carbonic acid then breaks down to give bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. The bicarbonate diffuses from the erythrocytes into the plasma. And to maintain electroneutrality, for each bicarbonate that goes out, a chloride ion will now come in, and this is known as the chloride shift. Now what happens to the hydrogen ion? The hydrogen ion is picked up by hemoglobin and it is carried to the lungs. In the lungs, it releases the hydrogen ion, and this reacts with the bicarbonate which is present in the lung to give rise to carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is broken down by carbonic anhydrase to form carbon dioxide and water, and the carbon dioxide is then eliminated. or expelled from the lungs. So carbon dioxide diffuses across the red blood cell membrane. No transport mechanism is required. As carbonic acid dissociate, bicarbonate ions will diffuse into the plasma, and for every bicarbonate which moves out, in exchange the chloride ions move in, and this is known as the chloride shift. The hydrogen ions are buffered by the hemoglobin molecules and is the only intracellular buffer system with an immediate effect on the pH, and it helps prevent major changes in pH, particularly when the plasma concentration of the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is rising or falling. This is another diagram which very efficiently explains the role of both the bicarbonate and the hemoglobin buffering systems. Let's look at the extreme right. In the peripheral tissue, what happens? Carbon dioxide reacts with water and forms carbonic acid. Carbonic acid will then break down to give hydrogen ions and bicarbonate ion. Now, in the meantime, hemoglobin brings in oxygen to the tissues. It releases the oxygen and takes up the hydrogen ions. The hydrogen ions picked up by hemoglobin is taken through the venous circulation to the lungs. What happens to the bicarbonate? The bicarbonate is also carried by the venous blood to the lungs. In the lungs, the bicarbonate will react with the hydrogen ions, which is released by hemoglobin, and form carbonic acid. This carbonic acid will break down to give carbon dioxide and water. The carbon dioxide gets exhaled. The hemoglobin, which has released the hydrogen ions in the lungs, now pick up oxygen, forms oxyhemoglobin, which is then taken back to the peripheral tissues. The role of the buffer systems in regulating the body pH is only limited. Their action is temporary, but it acts swiftly to prevent major changes in the blood pH. And it is an efficient system till the major players, that is the respiratory and the renal mechanisms, come into force. Now let's look at the role of the respiratory system and the kidneys in regulation of blood pH. Now, what is acid-base balance? Acid-base is primarily concerned with two ions, the hydrogen ion and the bicarbonate ion. And the respiratory system and the kidneys together, they maintain the body pH. The respiratory response is very swift, within minutes, whereas the response of the kidney is slow but steady and may take hours to days. So both the lungs and the kidneys play a very important role in regulating blood pH. How do the lungs do it? It regulates pH through retention or elimination of carbon dioxide by changing the rate and volume of ventilation. How do the kidneys regulate pH? This is by excreting hydrogen ions, primarily in the form of ammonium ion, and by conserving bicarbonate from the glomerular filtrate and adding it back to the blood. Let's look at the second line of defense, that is the respiratory regulation of blood pH. Now, lungs regulate the concentration of carbonic acid in the blood or other body fluids. This is under the control of the respiratory center. The lungs function by maintaining the carbonic acid component of the bicarbonate buffer. The respiratory system of regulation is a physiological buffering system. When the level of hydrogen ions in the plasma increases, that is known as hypercapnia, you have deeper and more rapid breathing, which expels more carbon dioxide, reduces the concentration of carbonic acid, and thereby reducing the hydrogen ion concentration. During alkalosis, the breathing becomes more slower and more shallow, causing hydrogen ions to increase. The respiratory system is very important, and any impairment would cause acid-base imbalance, which is known as respiratory acidosis or respiratory alkalosis. The second line of defense, that is the respiratory system, responds to changes in the pH immediately, but cannot proceed to completion. Thank you.